Last night, I didn't get to this, and I didn't care. I went to bed because I was tired. So this morning, I see some, yeah, I had done this before dinner, that little bit from the afternoon, and so now we can just add to it, and then I'll see if I have enough room to get through lunch. If not, I'll just run it quick. Robin usually makes the bed for me in the morning, but he had to drive our daughter to school because her bus isn't running today because it is 2020 Part 3. So I'll do this too. Leo is enjoying some box time. Huh, are you completely entertained in the box? I don't know why. There's nothing there to play with. Maybe he's just enjoying spying on Woozy. I definitely need to set this living room up. Get it tidied. Glass cleaner, that was a good thought. Too bad I didn't actually use it on the end tables. We've gotten 2 night tables in a week, and so we've been doing a lot of putting together. Well, not me, Robin, let's be real. So I need to tidy this up too. And you know, the overall kitchen could definitely use a zhuzh. This is where the new bedside table came out of. And then this is Mom's mess. So this isn't too bad. Oh, and I am just loving the fall decor. I'm not expecting us to get much in the way of Hurricane Lee. And I do thank all of you, those of you who expressed concern. But it seems like we are too far south and we're not on the coast either. So I'm not expecting a whole lot from it. But just in case, I'm going to check things like batteries. I'm going to clean up the yard. It feels like it's always best to be ready. And especially with the batteries and such and the flashlights, that's something that I need to do this time of year anyway for when we do get storms. So I feel like if Hurricane Lee was encouraging me to do that, then that's a good thing for me to do. And then I know I'll be all set because it is generally winter when we lose power, because it's usually ice storms that do it for us, although according to my electric company, most of the time it's not actually tree limbs, it's cars hitting trees. Oh goodness, because you know what? Even though we have 2020 and everybody was home and learned to live from home, there's still that pressure to go out even when the roads are unsafe. Let me get a towel. All right, that's better. I also need to fold laundry. I'm going to clean up the yard of anything that could fly. I mean, I feel like with a hurricane, you just never know. It can turn last minute. So I'm going to get things cleaned up. This is a Pampered Chef stone, and I have had it for over 30 years. I used to sell Pampered Chef years and years ago, which is why I have that. I think it was in my original kit that you get when you're selling Pampered Chef. I was good at getting parties, but I was not good at getting people wanting to sell it, and that's really where you make money, is deepening that line. That's where the passive income comes in. And I just got tired of leaving my family for parties. And the stoneware and everything is so heavy, like carrying it up flights of stairs. I actually feel like that's part of the reason I have herniated discs in my back is from my years doing Pampered Chef. So whenever we have a storm coming, I like to make sure everything is caught up, and I like to make sure the house is clean. That way, if we do lose power, I'm not stuck with a big mess and no electricity and no hot water for cleaning. We do still have water here, even though we're technically on a well, so it is our community well. You know, that's something that's always so different about living in Maine. I've never been on city, that's not true. Okay, I was on city water twice when we were first married, but I've spent most of my time on a well, which is so different because it's spring fed. We did have a well go dry, and it was so crazy because it was when we sold our last house that week. The week that the closing was, our well went dry. And so the new owner had to have it drilled deeper. But, you know, so when you're on a well, your water usage isn't affecting anyone else because it's your water supply. So it's coming from a spring or, you know, groundwater. So when you use water, you're not taking away anyone else's water. And our water here, I believe, is spring fed. It's a community well, like for the whole place. And the reason for that is because we don't have city septic. And so we only have half-acre lots. So having the septic here, I don't have enough land to have a well. It would be too close to the septic tank. So our community does give us water, but if they're worried about pipes freezing, they ask us to do the slow drizzle. They're not worried about how much water we use because it is spring fed, so there's always more coming in. I am also going to, I just took apart just pulled this from the top. That was done. Put it back down. I'm going to give this sink a scrub with my Scrub Daddy Power Paste. I love this stuff. It makes the sink feel so clean. And it comes with this little scrubber. It's kind of messy on the outside here. Actually, maybe I'll just take this off. But this makes things feel so clean. I love it. It also takes off hard water stains, I find, which is a big problem. Minerals in my water. It might not be hard water, but definitely minerals. Maybe that's what hard water means. I don't even know. I have not gotten myself ready today. Usually I do that before I film, but today I was like, nope, I'm going to get this cleaned up. So I also need to get Yvonne's school schedule ready. This lasts a really long time. I used to feel like I had to be like dressed and ready for the day to film. Part of that is just because I have to edit myself and I didn't want to look at myself not looking dressed and ready. But I've been watching so many other YouTubers who don't do that I'm like, you know what? People aren't judging me as much as I think they are. Get over yourself. If you want to clean your house and you're in your pajamas like I am now and you haven't combed your hair or done anything, it's really okay because it's reality and it's what everybody else gets up and immediately is trying to get to their house too. So let me know in the comments if you feel like, girl, get your makeup on first. You're scaring us. No, I know you wouldn't feel that way. Not if you're a true friend. My husband's dirty laundry. Get that in the laundry. Then I just put, I don't know why I need to talk to my husband about this blanket because he doesn't use it. So I feel like we don't need it on our blanket. On our blanket? On our bed. We don't need it anymore. So I'm going to mention it to him today because I notice he takes it off every single night. I keep a lot of spare blankets because when I have married kids with their own kids come to visit, then I need the bedding. All right, that's good. End table here. I actually have my, you notice I didn't have my wedding band on, you probably didn't notice, but it's so big for me. It bugs me at certain times of the day or night. That goes in my pocketbook. All right, get that cleaned up. I need to get it sized. All right. Ooh. This feels good. You know, I actually enjoy folding laundry. I don't necessarily enjoy putting it away, but I do enjoy folding laundry. So I thought I would address some comments I've been getting. I've been asked to share things about homeschooling. So if that was you, because it's been more than one person, if you could let me know in the comments, like what specific things would you like me to share? We're having a very light year because Yvonne is a senior, so she pretty much, honestly, between you, me, and the deep blue sea, I could find a way to graduate her legally if I wanted to, but she's doing things like consumer math and trying to keep it practical, things that are important to me, and then some things that, you know, credit-wise, she should have 4 years of. So I don't fold our undergarments on YouTube. It's just one of my little weird things. But anyways, if you let me know, because I have homeschooled at some point all 7 of my kids, graduated many from, you know, kindergarten to through high school. My oldest, who was homeschooled the whole way, he has his master's degree. My second born is currently pursuing his master's degree. I have my daughter, oldest daughter, has her esthetician's license. She also did a year of art school and then realized that it wasn't something she could make enough money to pay back the loan she was having to use, even though she had a half scholarship. Then I have one who is currently in college. So I do have experience taking a kid from kindergarten through, and they're able to get into college with no problem. They're able to, you know, do what they want to do without being hindered by the fact that they were homeschooled. I actually found it was more of an advantage than it was a negative when it came to colleges. I'm sure there's some colleges that have a dim view of homeschoolers. I just didn't bump into them. In fact, there was one school that my son applied to, and they said they wanted a listing of all his curriculum if he was homeschooled, and I thought, well, that is excessive. So what I did was I gave him the typical transcript, thinking, you know, when people are working, they're not like fine-tooth combing it. They're doing just what they have to do. So what I did was I gave him the typical transcript I gave everybody else. I did a notary seal on it, you know, went to the town, got a notary seal so that it looked official. I put homeschool on it, and I put more information is available upon request. Well, he got into that school, and I was never asked for more information. He didn't choose that school, but they did accept him without me going through those extra hoops that I knew darn well no school was having to jump through that hoop. So I didn't jump through the hoop, and I figured if they really wanted to know, they would ask me. So let me know. I have also gotten a lot of questions about the fact that you can tell that we have adopted. Yes, we adopted our younger 4 kids as a sibling group. And I've been asked to share more about that. I'm not sharing here for 2 reasons. The first reason and most important reason is even amongst the 4 siblings, I had them sit down together when they were young, and I've encouraged them to keep doing that as it changes and to talk about with each other because understanding they share certain parts of their story, what parts of their story were they comfortable with each other sharing? And then just so that there wasn't tension. Not to say that was never violated. We all talk. That's who we are. As human beings, we connect, we share our story. But I have to be very careful in not sharing a story that's not mine. So in sharing mine, it's hard to share mine without sharing theirs. And I have teenagers. Teenagers don't want to feel different from other people, and they're more sensitive about their story. They're at the stage where they're going to be most sensitive. They're at the stage where they are judging their parents, judging how we do things. It can be a tough time period. So for that reason, I don't share. Maybe someday I will, and maybe someday that will change. But they don't want to be advocates for adoption. They just want to be teenagers. They just want to be like everybody else. So I'm not saying everybody feels that way, but for the potential that somebody does feel that way, I don't share. The other reason I don't share, you may not even be aware, but there's channels that they're commenting channels. And I'm not big enough as a channel to worry about them right now. But there are certain touch points that trigger online bullying of these so-called commentators. And not every commentator is like this. I'm not accusing anyone. But I am saying that I have seen creators get bullied off YouTube. I have no intention of getting bullied off YouTube, but I do know that what you share about your kids is something that they love to expose if they think you're wrong or prey on. And I don't want to do anything to trigger that problem. So what I have done is anyone who has asked me to share on my channel, I've given you the opportunity. My email is in the description box, but it's thismainermom@gmail.com. If you have certain questions that you want to ask me, it'd be better if you ask me through email than for me to address it publicly, because if it was just the people who are asking, and if it was just those of you who watch me consistently and I can tell you love me, I don't worry about you judging me, I would share more. But unfortunately and fortunately, there's other people who are watching and the judgment is still out. I'm not opening myself up to that, or my kids. That sounds way harsher than what I'm thinking in my head, but I want to be wise and to be very careful about what I share. So I hope you understand. If you have any specific questions, you can email me. I always try to assume everybody has great intentions. I also apologize if you've been hearing the fan on my husband's laptop this whole time, because I realized the camera's closer to the laptop than it is to me. So I'm going to get these put away. If you ever do have specific questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments section. Even if I can't answer it, I promise I'm not going to assume that you have some evil intent or that you're trying to insult me in any way. I try to always assume the best intention, so don't be afraid to ask. Just because you asked doesn't mean I can answer, but I will answer if I can. So I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you spending your time with me, how kind you are in the comments. I appreciate that we are a troll-free channel. I do not have problems with people coming to slam me in the comments or slamming you guys. If you ever felt bullied on my comment section and I'm not seeing it, then you can always email me, tell me about it, and I'll make sure that person is prayed for, blessed, and blocked. So, because I love you guys and I want you to feel like this is a safe community for you. After this, I'm going to get back in the kitchen and finish the kitchen, but I thought this was a great opportunity with my husband not here to be able to get the bed made and get the laundry put away, since he'll be working in here in a few minutes. Speaking of laundry, some of you might remember that when I used cleaner for the washing machine, all this gunk came out. And it seemed like it was gunk that was in the pipes. And then it happened again when I used OxyClean in my washing machine. It happened, and it took me forever to get it out. And I think what finally worked was running a hot load with vinegar, white vinegar. Well, I had it happen again yesterday, And I had bought laundry sheets, and the kids are so confused by them. They just are like, what are these laundry sheets? And they don't believe it's laundry detergent, and it doesn't seem like enough detergent to them to really clean. So yesterday we had it happen again. And I think what it was is because one of my daughters was suspicious of the laundry sheet. She used Norwex. I have some Norwex laundry detergent, and I don't know if it's because the Norwex is just so good that it kind of cleaned out the washing machine again. So first I ran a load of just hot water. That didn't work. And I was trying to remember, what did I do last time? Well, last time we finally said, why don't we try white vinegar? And we remembered, I was like, it was either white vinegar or bleach. So I guess it must have been white vinegar because I ran a load of white vinegar and it took care of the problem again. So if you ever have that problem in your washing machine where gunk is just coming out of the pipes into the tub, try running a load of white vinegar. It might be that also the hot water, but I know hot water alone definitely did not take care of it.
In the hurting, in the blue, you're the one I hold on to. I'm putting all my hope in you. I will wait upon you, Lord. And just because I'm in this pain doesn't mean I can't be whole again. Faithful to the very end, I will wait upon you, Lord. I will wait upon you, Lord. And I will wait upon you, Lord. Even when I cannot find the answers, why I still count on you. Walking with you every day, even when I can't see your face. Oh, let patience have its perfect way. I will wait upon you, Lord. Yeah, and I will wait upon you, Lord. And I will wait upon you, Lord. Even when I cannot find the answers, why I still count on you. I will wait upon you, Lord. I will wait upon you, Lord.
One thing I also wanted to do specifically this year that I'm not usually good about doing is going through all of the flashlights and candles and that sort of thing and getting everything ready before winter starts and all the storms start. So Hurricane Lee, thank you very much because you reminded me. We just bought a generator. We bought it on Amazon. It's going to come in a week. So that is really exciting to me. It's not going to run my whole house. It's not one of those ones you have to plug into your electrical box, but it is going to keep our refrigerator going, lights going, or some lights. What else was I thinking? Oh, electric heaters, that sort of thing, the ones that are safe and aren't going to burn your house down. So that is taken care of. I feel good about that. And this is the box that has all my candles in it. I do see it has, what's this? some batteries. This shouldn't be where my batteries are, so I will clean out the batteries. I'm going to take out any of these batteries from last year. I shouldn't have stored them. You shouldn't be storing things with the batteries. And I'm like, I do. Don't do like me. Do it correctly. That actually kind of rhymes. Don't do like me. Do it correctly. Those do still work, though. Yep. So I know I'm going to need a good amount of AAAs. And then I have some real candles here as well. So this I'm getting rid of because my husband says it's junk. That's good. Nothing wrong with that. So I have 2 small flashlights, 1 tiny flashlight, a bunch of batteries. So I feel like I definitely actually have the kind of batteries that I need. These are AAAs. I know I have a good amount upstairs. So I'm going to take these out. But then include my other batteries. So whenever I see these wickless, actually that one's broken. All right, that's broken. But whenever I see these flameless candles, fake candles on sale, I do buy some. Because you definitely want each of your people in the house to have a flashlight in their room and to have an electric candle. Or lantern. 1, 2. Which one is broken? Oh, the one in my hand's broken. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 3. Probably need a couple more of those. 4, 4. The other thing that I did last year is I got these at Dollar General. So, I mean, any cheap little place where you can get fairy lights. I need to replace the batteries in these, but what I do is I hang them over the lights in our bathrooms so that whenever the power is out, it's completely battery run. We turn these on and then people have a certain amount of light in the bathroom. And that was really good because whenever the lights went out, we could just kind of go around and turn these on. They're cheap. They lasted all winter, and I just kept them hung on the lights like a decoration. And then we could just turn them on whenever we needed them. I would really love to know, what types of things do you like to have ready whenever you have a storm come your way where you think the power might go out? Let us know in the comment section below and we can all help each other. Of course, we have our grill and making sure we have gas for the grill. In the wintertime, it helps us. One thing that really helps us is that oftentimes when we lose power, it's winter and I can always be storing foods outside. But one thing I'm going to make sure to do is I'm going to start cooking down whatever I have in the freezer and refrigerator and only keeping a week's worth of food, because what happens is if, you know, I lose power, and I know we'll have a generator, but I just don't feel comfortable having a lot of extra food on hand because that's just more food I have to keep cold and store. And then any kids that have insecurities about food spoilage, they don't want to eat it afterwards. It just becomes this whole thing. So it's really easier for me in the wintertime to not have a storage of food. At least not in the freezer or refrigerator. It's better to have shelf-stable food. I went to Dollar General, and this time I got these little fairy lights. Are they even called fairy lights? Well, LED string lights. So I got 3 of these. I figured I would put 1 in each bathroom around the lights, and I'm going to put 1 in the kitchen. That's also a nice place to have a little extra light when the power goes out. And then they had these flameless LED pillar candles. 1, 2, because I already have some, so I got 2. And then they had these for $1. So I thought this would be nice for each of the girls to have, like, right beside their bed in their little nightstands. That way, if we lose power at night, they can just flick on their battery-powered flashlight if they need to get to the bathroom or come downstairs to find out what the heck happened. So I got 5 of those. Unfortunately, I figured 1 from my husband and I, too. What I always struggle with is when you have 4 daughters, you kind of want to get 4 different colors. Isn't that funny? But that is never possible. I always struggle with that with Easter dresses too, because the girls would like the same style, the younger three, but you could never get 3 separate ones. Anyway, that's my little Dollar General haul today. It feels good just to have things pretty much set up for when the storm times come. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of the comments and when you click on the like button, and I appreciate you subscribing to my channel and being here and visiting me in my home all the time. Remember, as always, that God loves you and I love you too, and I can't wait to see you next time.